Hi everyone. Today's lecture is named in a weird way. It's called Cool Features in C Sharp. I would list all of the things that we're going to be talking about today, but it'll be about 3 or 4 lines here, and I wasn't going to be able to fit it in. So today's lecture is we are going a bit far away from methods and how to define them and object-oriented programming in general. This lecture is very unrelated stuff, just general features the language has, which some other languages have, some don't, but in general they are very well made in C sharp, and we'll be looking at those. So let's have a look at the content. So extension methods probably very easy, very easy to get, very easy to write your own extensions. Then we are looking very briefly at anonymous types. There isn't much to talk about it there either. I think this was taken, the anonymous types from let me just put it here. The anonymous types were taken, I think, from JavaScript, where everything is pretty much anonymous. So it's very similar to the way it's done there. Then we have delegates, actions, and func. We have events. So these are a bit more complicated, but they're very useful in games as well. And I'll show one, very brief example of how you may use them. I found that this is done a little bit harder in C sharp rather than JavaScript. So this is pretty much the only thing that I had no problems understanding in JavaScript, but here is a bit more tricky. And on the same side, it gives you a bit more freedom as well. So it has its pluses and minuses. Then we are going to talk very briefly about Lambda expressions and how they are used to make LINQ queries. So yeah, a lot of things here. Some of them are like not linked at all. But they're cool stuff in C sharp that other languages may or may not have. Okay, so let's get started. So extension methods. Once a class is defined and compiled, say you have your own library or you import it from somewhere, there is no way for you to look at the code. I mean, there are compilers and such, but in general you wouldn't be able to look at the code, update it, add new features, and so on. The only way to do it is to have the assembly updated. In code, updated, recode, and then recompile, which takes a lot of time. C sharp has .NET has solved this problem with extension methods, where they allow you to build on the functionality of an already exported library. So say that you have string, all of the methods there, but there is one missing or a couple missing, and you just want to extend or add those to the string class. This is something that you are allowed to do. It's very simple, very easy, and you don't need to bother with recompilation, changing the original assembly, and so on. So let's have a look how that is done. I'll be creating a new project today, so let me fire up Visual Studio. It's here. Fire up my Zoom it as well. Where are you? I guess I have to wait a bit, so I'll just do that. So let me click here and please open up today. Please. Really? Do I have to do that? Okay, I clicked on the link, so Windows key. And nope. So let me close that. Please. Come on. Okay. Zoom it. No, it's not working here. Let me fix it a second. We fixed that, or we didn't fix it. We kind of went around the problem. It's still not working, but bugs happen. Okay, so let's get back here and make a new solution. So I'll put it here. So solution, and I'll call it random cool features here, because they're random and cool. Alright, so the first one I have to add is the extensions methods. So extension, not there. Extension methods. All right. So what we are going to be doing is an example where I don't like the the functionality of the string and what it gives me, and I want to add something to it. Then we'll add something else to the list of integers as well. So let me first put all of those in here. Delete the ones that I'm not going to be using. So I'm not going to be using these. Change that, or more like remove that. And then I want to change the name here, which is going to be, I don't know, entry point or something like that. Okay, so a couple of things that you have to remember to do when you deal with extension methods is first to create a new class for your extension. So let's do that. So I'm gonna add a class, and I'll call this. I will call this string extensions. Okay, and once I've done that, I would like to organize my code a little bit, so I'll put it in a folder extensions. And once I do that, I want to put that inside, and I want to put it in a different namespace. So I'm not going to need all of that, probably just the system. So I'll type that in using system. And something that we learned last time is once I have a folder to keep the quality of the code, I have to add it here in the namespace as well. So I'll call this extensions, and I know that, and I know that once I look into my project, I'll have everything in the namespace extensions that I need. So they are the same. Okay, so here I also have to add using extension methods dot extensions. All right. So what is it that we are trying to do? So we have to make this class first. So our first condition here is to make it public, of course, so that we can see it outside, and then I have to make it static. So every time when you extend something, it has to be a static class, and every method inside has to be static as well. Okay, so we would like to make a very simple method. It's going to be public static int count words. Okay, and I'm going to say string input, and what do I need to do is I want to return input dot split by spaces. We are not gonna worry about full stops and commas and so on, just that. So okay, so I want to split by spaces, and of course I want to say count, because I just want to count how many words I have. And this is not working for some reason. Why are you not working? Maybe I should put this. No. Yeah, it's length. It's length. It's not count. Yeah, thanks. I made that mistake earlier as well. All right, but what I did just now is, just a random method that if I want to access it, I have to access it through, through this class. So if I want to use it here, I have to say, string text equals hello, my name is Martin. Something like that, I don't know. Okay, and now if I want to use it, I would have to say string extensions dot count words, and I have to input the text in, and that should work. Let's have a look. Okay, but here I am not doing anything special. Right? I'm just creating a new class. It's nothing interesting that we've done. What I actually want to do is I want to be able to say text dot and count words, so that I can use it as a part of the string class. So here, if you see how many methods I have, it's quite a lot that are built into the string. I want to add one of my own, so I want to extend the string class functionality. And to do this, it's quite simple. I just put this here. Okay, and what the keyword means is that I would like to extend the string class. So this string means that I want to extend it. So right now, if I go back, I should have that here, and if you can see, it's all right. So I need to count. Okay, so now if you see, the icon is also different. It has a small, arrow in there, which means that this method specifically is an extension method, or one that I've written by myself, or someone in your team has done that. Okay, so count words, and what do I want? I don't want anything. I just want to put it there, and maybe I want to print it as well, or just save it in some variable. So int result equals text dot count words. Nothing special. So console right line, and I want to say result. And so how many words we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and it works again. Okay, and this is the idea. Okay, so you may get some library from somewhere, and you wouldn't be able to look at the code and go inside and put it in there, but you can extend very easily. So the extension that I've just written is only available within this namespace. Okay, so I haven't touched anything on the string class from .NET. I just put, I just attach different functionality to it. Okay, so this was the first example. Let's do another one just to show that you can extend pretty much everything. So this one is going to be list extensions. Okay, and again, so what was the first thing that I had to do independently of independently of what I want to write? So it's going to be first this public, then static, and every single method inside has to be static as well. Okay, so now I want to do a simple method for adding a value to each member of a list of integers. Okay, so it has to be void. So public, again static. This is key. Public static void, and I want to say increase with number. Okay, and inside, what do you think I have to type in? Sorry? Okay, list this, so that I want to show with this word this that I want to extend the list class. I want to say list of integers, and I'm going to call it my list. And of course I want to have a number which I want to increase with. So this is going to be int number. Okay, I cannot use the list now because I don't have the assembly, but I'll add it in. All right, and so now here it's just as simple as for loop. So my list dot count, and inside I want to say my list of I plus equals number. Okay, and it's as simple as that. So let's go and have a look at it here. So let's create a list. So I am gonna have list list of int I don't know, test list equals new list of int, and then I want to have it here. So I don't know, 45103, maybe something, it doesn't matter. Okay, and now what I want to do is just use the method that I have. So I'll use it straight away here. So test list dot, and somewhere around here I'm gonna have my method, and I managed to find it with the arrow here, which is only slightly visible. So increase with number, and inside here you can see now that I only have one parameter, which is the number that I want to increase with. So 3. Sorry? Or do you want another number. 3 is fine, I guess. Okay, and then I just want to print it. So for each number in test list, I want to say console write line number. Yes, question. You want to stop the AC? Okay, right. Are you crazy? But it's fine. Okay. Right. So okay. So what were we doing? Okay, and we have all of them. So if we see here, so the 4, I added 3. Oh no, sorry. We are from here down. Okay, so 4 I added 3 is 7. Then we have 8, 4, 3, 6, and so on. So it works. I should really mention that here on this line we use the method with only a single variable, whereas inside here we have 2 of them. So the first one only shows which is the class that we're going to be extending, or which library and so on. And after that, this one is what we can use and what we should use in our method depending on the logic. Okay, do you have any questions here? Nope, everything is fine. Okay, let's go. Okay, anonymous types are used to encapsulate a set of read-only properties into a single object. It's used if there is no need for a separate class. So let's say that you get a little bit lazy and you actually want to have a student with a name, or a bunny with a name, age, and gender, and so on, but you're only going to use it once. So it's a bit stupid to have a separate class for it, type all of the properties, constructors, and so on, so that you can create it once and never use it again. So this comes in handy there, where you can just create it on the spot, and it's just gonna serve the purpose for storing data. Okay, so the data is going to be used once and then discarded or never used again, which can happen quite often, but we have to go a little bit further into the lecture. So let me just rename that to 1 dot, and I'll create a new one. So add new project, and I'm gonna call it 2 dot, and this is gonna be anonymous types. Okay, delete all of that, maybe without the system, and put it inside. Now I want to change this into anonymous types. I want to delete that as well. Did I delete it here as well? Yeah, I did. Okay. Right. Okay. So let's create an anonymous type. So anonymous types are declared with the keyword var, and let's say that we want to have a bunny. Okay, and instead of having a separate class for a new bunny and so on, I can just say new, and inside here I want to say first name equals Pesho, and I don't know, second name equals Gosho, and I don't know, gender equals M. All right, and what I can do now is have the bunny here dot, and I can access all of these. So first name, gender, and second name. So let's print, I don't know, first name. I have to change this here first. Current selection, apply. Okay. Right, so let me run it, and we should be able to see Pesho here, which is fine. Okay, what kind of problems can we get from that, or is it how is it limited, and so on? So the first thing is that these fields are read-only, so I cannot say bunny dot first name equals Gosho. This is just used once, and then it's discarded after that. So I cannot change the values. It's just read-only. Okay. What else? What kind of other problem do you see, or you can think of with this? No, it's fine. It works. I can read it. I cannot change the values, but Is there, you know, a major method? Sorry, a major problem if that would normally happen if I had to create my own class? Any guesses? Okay, yes, it's about methods. So I cannot pass this bunny inside the method, or if I could, it could break, you know, your application. So let's make a simple method. So let's call it public static, and I don't know, some method. Okay, and so let's say here that I have my bunny, and I want to just print it. So I want to say bunny dot first name. Okay, and so how do I declare this? Object. Let's try with object. Okay, so if I do it with object and public static void. All right, what is the problem here? If I given an object, I'm not gonna have any of the properties of my bunny, right? Because I've just given the object. It has these four, you know, methods which are common to every single class or type in C#. Sorry? What's the base class of the bunny object? It's object. Yes, it's object. Any other suggestion? Dynamic. Okay, so this is, you know, brute forced. So dynamic, and if I type in bunny dot first name, okay, I still cannot access it this way. So if I press dot, nothing comes up. So the IntelliSense doesn't work. But let's say that I, you know, push it and say, you know, do this. It's not gonna break during compilation, because, you know, this is dynamic and everything is evaluated at runtime. But what do you think is gonna happen if I compile now and I just say, instead of this, I say some method, and I want to pass in the bunny? Sorry? It's gonna break. Exception. Well, what kind of exception? What am I doing wrong here? The answer is nothing, right? So the dynamic goes in, sees that the bunny has a first name, and puts it in. But what happens if I just make one error here? You know, just one error. It doesn't matter what that is. You get some runtime binary exceptions, and you have, you know, some lines and so on, which is really bad. So it's gonna run. You're not gonna know what the problem is, and you know, just in general, dynamic is very rarely used. If there is a way to write something in another way and not use dynamic, you should, because, you know, a lot of things can break. So, you know, this is fine, but this is only gonna work if I pass this specific bunny with, you know, first name as one of its properties. So what would be the normal way if you want to pass it to a pass it as a, you know, parameter here in this method? So if you don't want to use dynamics and so on, how would you go around this problem? Sorry? Typecasting. How do I cast this? Right? Do I type var? I don't know. There is no way to cast it. Here, on this line. On line 15. So here you want me to cast it to an object. Well, yeah, but it's an object, so it doesn't really matter there. Okay, if you had to have a bunny with first name and second name, and you definitely had to use it in a method, what would you do? There is another way around. Make a class. Okay, yeah, this is it. So if there is a way to go around using dynamics, then just do that. Okay. What else? Dynamic types. So let's make some integers. Okay, this is gonna be new int this way, and I can add some numbers here, and that is fine. But you can also, you know, skip this thing, which is going to be just an anonymous array, I think. Or yeah, I had to put these. So this thing says, well, I want to have some array, and I have given you the values in here, so the compiler is going to guess what kind of type we have. And if I look closer, it has guessed that this is int. Okay, but what happens if I put, you know, a string here? Right, it's not gonna be able to guess because this anonymous type or this anonymous declaration has, you know, different types. So there is no common type that that is common for all of them. And here, you know, it just doesn't do objects, so it tries to guess specifically what kind of type you have. All right, anything else? I can make also an array with anonymous types. That is absolutely fine. So var anonymous array bunnies, and I can just say, you know, new, and then open up brackets, and I want to say again new, first name equals Pesho, and I don't know, age equals I don't know, 15. Okay, comma, then, you know, copy that a couple of times. I can make them different. So this is gonna be, I don't know, Gosho, fuzzy, okay, Tosho. And I can change the ages as well. I don't know, 10. But one thing that I'm not allowed to change is the properties inside. So if I want to say something like gender here, well, this is not gonna work anymore because because, you know, they are just different anonymous types in here. But I can do age, and then I can access them by index and so on. So you may think, when is this useful? And when we get to LINQ and Lambda expressions, it will become a bit more clear. But you're allowed to do things like this. Just remember to have the keyword var, and then after that just type in your object as you would normally do. Yeah, this looks a bit like a constructor, I would think, but, you know, not quite. So yeah, do you have any questions about the anonymous types? Any questions at all? Well, not that complicated. Yeah, question. About the previous one, so with the extension methods. Yeah. Do I still have to change the namespace in the CS? So here, in the other one. Go to the first one. So here. What do you mean? Does it have to be underscore? Where do you see underscore? I don't see a dot here. Yes, I did change it here, but I did not change it. I just created something like a sub namespace or a subfolder. Okay, so this is the idea of the whole thing. So this namespace is like my whole project. Okay. I have named my project. Here, up here. Okay, in the name. It doesn't matter. No, it's fine. I can run it now. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, I'm sorry, I did not get your question first. So the question was, what happens if I have changed this, you know, name of my project to something which is different from the namespace? And the answer is nothing. But in all honesty, the namespace, the original one and the project name should be the same. It's very similar to the namespace that I have here, the sub namespace, and the folder that I have. So it doesn't matter if I call it some other name here and the folder here is named extensions. This is not going to change anything, but it's just easier to read and get around the code, I guess. All right. Yes, question. What if I change the project folder name? I don't know, probably something is gonna break, because I've tried that a couple of times. Normally I never go into the folder and change stuff from there, because just changing the name of the folder normally breaks your references to libraries and references that you use and so on. So I wouldn't do that. So once you've created it wrong, just rename it inside the solution to make it as clear as possible, and after that I think there is nothing that you can do. Or there is, but it has to be done manually, reload project and so on. So yeah, if you made a mistake as I did, just typing extension methods here, I'll actually show it. So let me go into my documents. Where are you? Documents and Visual Studio 2015, and then I have projects, and I call this extension. No, I called it something else. Random. Okay, random. Cool features. As you can see here, it's called just extension methods, and the second one is now correctly named. But if I try to change this, which I really don't want to do, if I do that, well, first I've opened it, so it's not going to allow me to do that, and second of all, when I close it down, rename it, then reopen again, it's not going to be able to find my project inside it. Yeah. Any other questions? And then I have to reload it and so on. Other questions? Anyone? Nope. Okay, let's keep going. So the next thing, so far nothing complicated, just two features which are cool. The second one, you wouldn't know that it's cool until we've used it a bit later on, but it's also cool. Now comes the a bit harder part. So if you don't get this now, don't worry, you will get it when you have to write your games later on. Okay, so delegates. Delegates are special .NET types that hold a method reference. This is a horrible sentence, but I'll try to explain it very easy in a bit. So they describe the signature of a given method. Their values are methods. So probably this sentence is a bit more clear. So delegates are like any type in C#, like integers, which hold numbers, strings, which hold text, and so on. Delegates hold methods. That's it. Okay, so yeah, they are reference types. Nothing special there. They are roughly similar to function pointers. That thing should be here, so let me just change that. Function pointers in other languages like C++ and C. Okay, can point to a sequence of multiple methods. So this is the more useful thing, and we'll see why in a second. So yeah, it's a bit hard to explain, so let's just get into the demo like straight away. And I'll try to explain it as well as I can. So new project, and it's going to be number 3, delegates, and press OK. Alright, so let me remove that, copy that here, let's say delegates here, delegates demo. Let's make this public and then static. Let's make this into a delegates demo. Alright, so the first thing that we have to do is declare the delegate on top. More like declare its signature. So what you have to do is public the keyword delegate, and after that void some delegate, and I have to declare the signature as well. So string text and int number. Okay, so I wanna repeat that. So a delegate is like a data type, like an integer, like a string, but it holds methods. okay, instead of values. So this thing void here is what we would like our methods to have as a return type, and this thing in here, the parameters are what we would like to expect from our methods to have as parameters. So this pretty much says, well, this delegate is gonna accept only methods which have a return type void, and it's gonna have these parameters inside. Is that clear? I just declare here what I want to have in my, like, from my methods. Is that okay? Is that fine? Something like a constructor. Something like a signature, I would like. So every time when you write a method, you have to say what the return type is and what are the parameters inside. So it's the same, but I want to declare it for all the methods that I want to put in my delegate. All right. So I assume that there are no questions, otherwise you would be asking. Okay, so let's make such method. Yeah, is there a question? This is like an array of methods. I wouldn't say an array, but a collection of methods. Yeah, it's like a collection of methods, and which have this signature. So return type void and parameters which are string and int. Another question? Should all methods within be public? Well, if you want to use them in the delegate, then yes, you would have to be able to access them. They can be internal as well, so that I can use them inside the project, right? But if they're private and they're not visible in the main methods, then we wouldn't be able to, use them. But no, you can do any methods that you like normally. So if I want to have a class, and inside it I want to have some private methods, I'm allowed to access those from the class itself, right? I'm not allowed to use them anywhere else, but I would be able to use them inside the class. So yeah, depends on what you want to do. Okay, any other questions? Let's actually make one and use one, because right now is just this line which just sits there, and that's a bit annoying. Okay, so let's make such method. Okay, so static void, I can make it public as well, it's fine. So public static void, can I actually, what's the problem here? Test method, are you gonna be happier now? Okay, fine. Okay, so test method, it has return type void, so it's fine, and I want to give it some string and some text. So let's have string, text, and then int number. Let's call them differently. So string, some text. They don't have to be the same, is my point. Okay. Sorry? Yeah, just to be a string and a number, because these names you can do whatever you want for them. I can call them A and B, right? It doesn't matter. So let's do it this way. Let's do it A and B, just to show that they can be different. They don't have to be the same. All right. So now inside this this method, I will do something very, very simple. So I'll just say I was called by a delegate, and then with params 0 and then 1. Okay, and here I want to say A and B, and that is fine. Yeah, I don't have a return type if I had one. So if here it says int, and down here I also have to change it to an int, so it has to have the same signature. But let's do void now because it's a bit easier. And now how do I use this? So I have my delegate, I've declared it. It's like a template, this one. I have a method which is in accordance with this template. Let's actually use it. Okay, so how do we do that? We say sum delegate d, and that equals new some delegate of what do we say, of test method. Thanks. I got stuck there for a second. So yeah, so we do that, and as you can see, this is like a variable, right? I've defined my own type of the variable, and I just give it a method. Okay, there is a simpler way to do this, which is 1 second, var d. Sorry, no. I wanted to make it easier, so some delegate d equals test method. Am I allowed to do this? Yes. Okay, so either or d1. So either you do it this way, so longer, or you do it this way, which is shorter and easier, and I just say, well, this is the name of my method. Okay, also here I can just save this and put it var, because once I say new some delegate, then this var is gonna guess that I'm actually talking about a delegate. So how do I call this now? So let me just leave the one on top. So this one is longer. Let's call it slightly longer, and this one is shorter. Okay, so now everything that I have to do in order for my delegate to work is just say d1 of I don't know, bunny 1, and then I don't know, 5 random stuff, and now it should work, and I can compile, and it's gonna say, so I was called by a delegate with params bunny 1 and 5, and this is what we wanted to see. And now many of you are probably thinking, why are we doing this, right? Why are we doing this when I can just say test method of bunny 1 and then 15. Okay, if I run it, it's gonna do absolutely the same thing. So the other way, what I am doing is, okay, so I create this strange thing called delegate, which is something a bit more abstract. Then I have to create a method, then I have to feed in I have to feed the method inside a variable of this type. It's all very complicated when you think about it, and the only thing that I wanted to do is execute this one method, which I could have done anyhow. So what is the point? I know that some of you know. So what's the point of using delegates? Yes. Okay, so yeah, the idea is that if I just use one method here, it's not gonna do anything, right? It's the same as just calling the method, but I can add many methods to this delegate, which are of the same signature, and they are gonna be called in order. So let's say that I have test method 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 20. Some sort of operations that you have to do in a specific order. So and every time that I have to use them in this specific order, instead of just listing them all, test method 1, test method 2, test method 3, and so on, everywhere that I have to use them, I just create one delegate, and whenever I want to use it, I just use it once. And that's the idea. So how do we do that? So let's make another method which is going to be pretty much the same. So public static void another test method, and string a int b. It has to have the same signature, and I'm gonna say console.writeLine I was the second function called by the delegate. Okay, and now if I actually run it now, nothing is gonna happen, right? It's absolutely the same thing as before, because I didn't add this this new method to my delegate. So what I have to do is simply d1 plus equals, and I just have to say another test method, and that's it. And now it works. So the idea here is that I am calling both methods with the same parameters. So let's put here text equals and I'm just gonna say here A. Sorry, it's like a string builder. No. So what kind of similarities do you see with string builder? Sorry, we add types and okay. It's okay. Right. So if I actually run it and we see what's happening, then maybe you be able to explain this. So I have a delegate here. I give it a method. So let me just zoom in. So I give it a method, then I give it another method, and what's gonna happen is that once I call this once with the specific string and int, it's gonna call both these methods in order. Okay, so let's run this. With a single call, I just called both of them using the same parameters. Okay, and of course I can add as many as I want. So d1 plus equals another test method, d1 plus equals test method, and so on. And all of these are going to be executed in order. So I would like to see the test method first, then another test method twice, and then go back to this one. So what's going to happen is I'll have it 4 times. So I was called by a delegate. I was the second, and then again the last one was called there. Just give me a second. Right, so what happens if I actually want to remove one? Well, I just simply say d1 minus c equals test method, the last one which was added, and now it should be just three times. Okay, question? I don't know. Let's try. I really don't know. If someone knows, they can help me here and just don't let me. So let's try this. So test method, and then just plus. Let's without brackets. Then let's try. Well, no, you have to add them, separately. Comma. Let's actually try the other one. So let me put this back the way it was, like that, and let's just comment that for a second. Let's uncomment that, and can I say it here? So let me put it this one, d1. So comma, and then test method again. Is that gonna work? Nope. So yeah, you have to add them separately, I think. Yeah, of course. You can extend it. I think you have to use an array params, which is also a delegate, but I think it's doable. You probably can do it. Yeah. Sequence of methods with different signatures. You have to have different delegates then. The point is that normally the things that you want to so let me just put that here and comment. So the point is that most methods that you would like to do something, they will have a return type void, I think. So I don't know, I actually don't have this there's a demo and I don't know, so let's just Google it. Does anyone know the answer? Can you have delegates with different signatures? Can you store them in the same delegate and put methods with different sorry? I've never seen it as well. So can we put methods in delegates with different signature? And Stack Overflow as well. Okay, this is not possible. Okay, the point of let's see what the guy has written. So the point of a delegate is to act as a strongly typed function pointer, loosely put, and nor will the runtime do any guessing as to what should be called depending on the parameters. Okay, so yeah, I'd say, well, there is point, and that's, you know, how it is. The fact that in JavaScript you don't have this, you know, is just it's just because it's easier there, but also you don't have that much power with the delegates in here that you normally have. So yeah.
I just don't see the point of having 10 different methods which take the same parameters to do the different things.
When you test something.
There is actually a lot of point, and so let's open up this here. So no, this is actually for events, but let's just take a random button on your website. So if you click it, you want just a couple of things to happen, right? Okay, you don't have to pass in any parameters, you know, it's a void. You just have to do some action. So, you know, move around some buttons, then reload the page with some new stuff and so on. So you don't have to have this normally. And even if you did, so even if I had to give like the string of what I want to use, I can freely choose not to use these variables here, right? So the fact that they're defined in the delegate doesn't mean that I have to use them, even though, you know, I've put them in there. So, you know, this gives you a bit more freedom of I think what you're afraid of. Right? Any other questions?
They should be the same names, test method and another test method variables or no?
No, I can do them however I want. So this is like ABC is fine.
Now about A and B.
About A and B, let me just. How about this and, you know, this? Yeah, it's fine. It's just a name, you know. It's more about the value that you pass. So this one here, yeah.
You can use the method with the most parameters for the delegate.
For the delegate, you for the delegate signature, if you have to, and I really doubt that you will, you have to use the one with the most parameters, and then if for the rest you don't need them, then you do that. But I would really like to say that the way that I've shown it here, that delegates are not normally used. So what is normally used is, you know, actions and func, and they are a bit easier, so a bit more, you know, new in the .NET system. Okay, another thing that I probably didn't show, I just need to go back a little bit and add my methods here. Right, so there is another way to add a method, and let me just have a look at it. So d plus d1 plus equals, and I can just do it, you know, anonymously, meaning that I don't have to have it separately here. I can just do it anonymously. So use the keyword delegate, then put in the variable. So I have to have string, you know, let's say name, int age, and just put it in here. So I want to say console right line, and then I will say I am Martin, and then I don't know, just that. Okay, and I think that has to add it in the end as well. There you go. Right, so this is an anonymous function there that I've put in. Sorry? No, we just add the method, and this delegate here means that I am adding a method with the signature of this delegate. Okay, if I want to have a return type int here as my signature, then I would have to, you know, say here something like return age. I don't know. I can also say I am, you know, I can use the values here as well. So I can say I am, and I am. Let's do it properly. So let's say my name is, and I am years old. And let's put it, name and then age. Okay, so my name is Bunny1 and I am 5 years old. You've added it at the end. So 3 ways to do this. So this is, for declaration. I would rather have this because it just looks better. Just give the method to my delegate, and then add another method, add another one, remove one, and then you add the last one anonymously. Because to be honest, if you only use a method once, when you add it to the delegate and you're not going to use it anywhere else, it doesn't make sense for it to be here to make your code more unreadable and so on. I can just add it here, and then I can use it anonymously after that as many times as I want. Okay, are there any questions here? Can I set another method to D1 after I've used it? What do you mean?
So after we call D1
Here, yeah. Can I call it again or? Oh yeah, sure. D1 plus equals just equals just to replace it. Oh, I don't know. Let's try test methods, and let's see what happens. And then just try it again. So D1 bunny. Let's call it B, and then I don't know 10, and I want to have a couple of or just one empty line here. So yeah, you can. So you can clear it. Actually, there are some built-in methods here that I didn't show. So I don't know if you are ever gonna use them, but you have begin invoke, then you have clone, dynamic invoke, end invoke, equal. So these are not interesting. Let's scroll down a bit. You have method, and then you have target, which I really don't know. I haven't used them, so the only way that they're normally used is just this. Just say that you invoke it this way, and it works. But I assume that you can say d1.invoke, and is it gonna ask for anything? Invoker, right? And yeah, so it's pretty much the same as this one above. So if I say bunny1 and 10, it should be the same. Yeah, just with different values. Okay. Yes. Is this the only method? Is it the only way to remove a method from the delegate? I don't know. Let's check.
Is there a way to remove a method that, for example, is halfway through the delegate?
1 second. So we have end invoke equals get hash. So if there was something, it would have been here, right? So get invocation list, get object data, get type. So not there. We also have invoke method. I wonder what that is. Guess the method represented by the delegate. So is it get and set? No, it's only get. This one, I would say no. You could extend it. Okay, so now this will be my answer to everything, to every of your question. Can we do that? No, but you can extend it. So yeah, you get the idea. Why not? Okay, right. Any other questions about delegates? How do you find them? Are they too complicated, or they're useless? Who said that? Why do you think that they're useless? It's the same length of the code. What happens if I actually have to call this
5 times.
this delegate 10 times, and instead of 2 functions I have 50? All right, imagine that if I click one button, I have to let's take some gaming example. If I click the find game button, I have to go through the database, through the servers, and see what kind of games are available, how many players are there, visualize everything, then add maybe new buttons and so on. So these are maybe at least 5 or 10 methods that have to be done at the same time. Now imagine that I have a couple of buttons which are very, very similar to this one, and I have to type in the methods one after the other 10 times. There's going to be 200 lines of code versus 10 lines, where I just say D1, call this with bunny and 5, call this with I don't know, Pesho and 3, and so on. So this saves you actually a lot of work when you have to call some methods in the same order many times. So it's not useless at all.
Can we extract this in something like a method?
Can we extract this in something like a method? I will talk about actions in a second, and you can do it there. I'm not sure if you can do it here, but we can always try. So I can say public static void execute delegate, and let's see if I can do some delegate d, and just say, what am I gonna say, d of b and I don't know, 0, and then semicolon. Yeah, and I had to so I had to put it here. So execute delegate, and I have to put the d1. D1, or let's do a D1. Yeah, you can. Yes, another question. Can you add the delegate to itself to get the same sequence of method twice? I don't know. How do you come up with these? I don't know. So this is very funny. Okay, so let's do D1. So you want to do something like D1 plus equals D1. Is that it? I would be very amazed if this worked, but I don't get a compilation error. So, sorry? Put it above the invocation here. Wow. Yeah. Okay. What happens if I put a minus here? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. What happens if I do D1 plus equals test method now? Yeah, okay, so I delete it, make it into an empty one. Cool stuff. Any other things that I didn't know that you want to test? Like, I never thought of these questions, but you're doing it very well, so. All right, let's see. D plus math.pow, and I would like to say D1 twice. Yeah, dot. I'm very sorry. I would assume so as well, but let's just check it, because you have weird question. On a more serious note, do you have any real suggestions? Let's put that one here. Actually, let's put this one here, test method, and let's copy this up here before we start making weird stuff. Okay. Right, any other questions? Thank you, so nice of you. Okay, how long has it been? Wow, 1 hour. Let's have a break. All right, so after the weird questions about delegates, we just move on. All right, so after that we have actions and func. I'm not saying functions, it's pretty much that, but in C# it's denoted func. Okay, so action and func are simplified delegates. So this is what you would normally use. Okay, delegates are a bit counterintuitive, where you have to define, somewhere above the class or the methods, you have to define the signature, then you have to add methods to it, and so on. It's a bit counterintuitive. So what you would normally use these days is either action or func, and they're nothing else but just delegates. Okay, so action of T1, T2, T3, where these T's are just types. Okay, types that you're gonna use, and by default the return type of an action is void. So something that I just did with the delegate, I can do the same thing with with an action, because I did not have a return type. So if you remember here, so this is my delegate, and instead of doing that, I can just say action of string and int, and the rest is going to be assumed to be void. So the return type is going to be assumed void. Okay, and then the other one that is used is similar, but then it has a return type which is just written last. So if you have func of string, long, and then integer, this int at the end, the very last one, will define my return type, and as it says here. So with a given set of parameters of types T1, T2, T3, and the func, a delegate with return type k, so the last one, and given set of parameters of type T1, T2, T3, and so on. Okay, a predicate, which is something that you would never use and see ever again after this slide, is a func which returns a boolean. So where do I have to put this bool? If I define a func and I want it to be a predicate, the last one. So I can say int, string, list of integers, bunnies, and so on, but in the end I have to say bool, and this is a predicate, and we're not going to use it in we're not, so we're not going to mention it ever again, and we're not going to use it. So yeah, you can you can think that I didn't show it or explain it at all, because you can just use func and it will be the same thing. Alright, so let's make a new demo, and I'm actually gonna copy paste a lot of the code here. So let's make it actions and funcs. Oh yeah, 4 dots, thanks. Actions and funcs. Okay, right. Okay, delete all of that. Oops. Put it here. And what I want to do is, just copy paste everything here and see how we can make it simpler, and to see why is it better to use actions. And I don't remember what I copied, but just delete that, and maybe up to a bracket in the end. Alright, so someone said after, I think, .NET 4.0, so pretty soon, I think. I'm really not sure when actions were introduced, but let's assume that it was very, very soon, so relatively. Okay, so someone said, well, this is very tedious to write down, and if I want to have a couple of them, I have to, list them all on top. So someone said, well, just delete that. And below here, I would like to say, instead of this type that I've declared above, I just want to say action. And what is the signature? It's going to be string and then int. And boom, it works. And it's pretty much the same. Okay, so if you need to have a return type void, which would just means, do a couple of things like actions, then just use this keyword. Okay, and it's fine. Everything works as it should be. And I can again add, so this thing I have to delete, or I can just say that it's action of string and int. And it works now, and I don't have to worry about anything else, declaring it on top and so on. It just makes it a lot simpler and a lot more intuitive. So instead of having it up there, just put it here and it works. Let me delete that as well. And this thing in the end. All right. So yeah, this looks now a lot more like a data type. So what I tried to give you at the beginning is an explanation of a delegate. So int, gives you a number and so on. Action gives you, some method, and I can call it after that. Okay, what about func? Okay, I cannot use func here because all of my methods have a void return type. So let's make some method which has a different return type. Actually, let me put that on top here. And I want to say public static, and I don't know, int the answer to everything. Okay, and let's say that it's gonna take, I don't know, string, some text, and what else? Int. We already have int. I wanted to avoid it, so let's say long, big number. Something else? Use your imagination. Bunny. I don't want to write a new bunny, and this is not using your imagination. It was very close to mind, I think. Let's use list of dynamic. Really? Okay, yeah, we are fine. Okay. The name of the list? Yeah. So weird list. Okay, and let's say that I want to return 42. The answer to everything, and inside I can say I was called by a func delegate with parameters, and I want to say 0, 1, and 2, and inside here I want to say text, big number, and weird list dot toString. I don't want to break it. Okay, right, and so everything that I have to do here, let's delete a couple of these. What do you say? Okay, everything that I can do now in here is that I can just say func. Okay, so I explained it a bit. So what types should I put here? Int is last, so I have to say string, long, list of dynamic, and after that I have to say the return type, which is int in the end. Okay, and I can call it my func, and I can say that this is equal to the answer to everything, and that's how it works, and it's fine. And now I can just call it with my func dot no, sorry, not dot, just say I don't know, and new list of dynamic this way. What do you say? I think that's fine. Okay, the point is that it doesn't matter what you put in your method, as long as you keep the same structure for the func and just add in the end the return type. Yes, there is a question. Yeah, I'll show that in a second. So what happens if I just compile now? Okay, so so this is the thing that we have. So let me just put a couple of new lines, or maybe just one here. So yeah. All right, I was called by a func delegate with parameters, so on, but we do not have the answer for 42 because it's a return type. But we see that it still executed the delegate, and we got this message. Okay, the point is that I did not save my return type, which is result, and this is I can do this int because I know what that is, and I can just say result here after it has been executed, and now I will get that 42. Yes.
Delegates and actions equals.
Are delegates and actions equals?
If we have delegates stringing and actions stringing, can we put it?
Yes. They are pretty much the same, but delegate is the more general one where you can specify your return type as well. Okay, but with an action you cannot. It's assumed to be void. Okay, and so basically, I guess at some point the guys at Microsoft said, well, this is a bit tedious to use, the delegates, and they said, well, let's just split it into an action which has no return type and a func which has one. So it pretty much covers everything that you will need to do, and this is the more normal and easier way to do delegate. So just put some functions inside either an action or a func. Yes, another question. Can you write on the return type void here? I would say no, because otherwise we wouldn't be having action, but I really don't know. So I just wanna execute it, and I don't have results, and inside here I have to say void. Is there anything? Yeah, I have to move that way as well. Do we get an error? Keyword error cannot be used in this context. Let me compile. Yeah, so you can't. I think I've changed everything here. I hope that I didn't miss anything. So yeah, let me just return it back to the way it was. So this was int. I had the result, and I had this as well, and this is changed to int, and now it works. Any other question?
Just don't save it in a variable.
Sorry, func?
If you need it in a void,
Yes, if you need it in a void, then just don't save it in a variable. But for someone else to read your code, they are gonna assume that you need the return type. So if you use it without it, then it makes it a bit confusing for the person that's gonna read your code. Normally, I would differentiate between the two and use whichever one I need for the specific situation. The one that you would most normally used is the action, where you have to pile up a couple of methods and then just execute them in order. Yes, another question.
what if we set this parameter as last parameter, for example, string double instead of equal?
String or double? You mean right now here
After list,
after list
right there.
here
Yes.
instead of this, which is list of dynamic? If I put something like a, or something like a, I should get an error because there is a different. Yeah, it says here cannot convert from string to system.collections.generic list of dynamic, which is normal because I've defined it up here what I want to have.
So we can still invoke a sequence of methods.
Oh yeah, sure. So
And,
I showed it here. It's a pretty much the same. So you can add methods.
How are the return values handled when there is
How are the return values handled when there is a sequence of them? It's gonna just give you the last one. Okay, so let's have a look. So the answer is, if I have a couple of funcs here, a couple of methods which are stored in a func delegate, and they all have a return type, how is it gonna handle the return types of all of them? So let's just test it. I am gonna write another method here, which is gonna be very simple. So the answer to everything, the answer to nothing. I'll call this one. Okay, and I am the second method in a func, and I'm not gonna use any of that. And instead of 42, I'll just return. What's your favorite number? Never mind, -5. Someone said. Okay, so let's store them both, and here I want to say new list of ints. I'm sorry, new list of dynamic. Why would I pick something so horrible? I don't know. I just said you use your imagination. Okay, so here I would like to delete that as well, and I want to say my func plus equals the answer to nothing here, and then I want to keep it right, so I want to say result int result equals my func of I don't know, 56, then a new list of dynamic with the brackets. Okay, so now the question is, what's it gonna do? So from my knowledge, I may be wrong, but I think that it's gonna have the last value that was added, so I am gonna get -5. So this is what I think. Yeah, so it saves just the last one. So the question was, what is gonna happen if we have a couple of methods? All right, they're all of delegate type func. They all have return int signature, and here I return 42, and here I return -5. Okay, I have my func here, the answer to everything. Then I add another method, which is the answer to nothing. So this is my second method. The question was, what happened to the 42 number that we had from the first method, or what's it gonna print if I actually save the result in a variable? The answer is just the last one. So I'm adding the answer to everything first. I'm adding the answer to nothing after that, and it's just gonna save the last one, which is gonna be -5 in this case. That wasn't your question. What was your question? I have to give it parameters, right? Because I've defined it to have string, long, list of dynamic here as well. I have to keep the signature, and this method. Okay, so this is Func in action, and this is how we use them. It's just an easy way to do delegates, and this makes it a lot more understandable, and I guess you won't have problems using it afterwards. Alright, let's keep going. So delegates are closely related to events. So if you understood what I just wrote, with actions and delegates and funcs and so on, this one is a bit more complicated, but I'll try to explain it in the easiest possible way. So an event is a message sent by an object to signal the occurrence of an action. So let's say that something has changed. Let's say that some value has changed, and if the value changes, you would like to invoke some methods or something like that. So this is what an event is, okay? Just by the simple translation of the word. When something happens, okay, I want to give a signal to some part of my code. Okay, enable a class or object to notify other classes or objects when something interesting occurs. Okay, something interesting that occurs could be the clicking of a button, could be typing a wrong name, moving your character, or entering some place so that let's say that you entered the boss and first you want to play a video and then play after that and so on. So all of these are events that your game or your application can give, and they would expect something to happen inside your code. So events have a publisher, so this is the class that sends or raises the event, and you have subscribers, which is the class that receives or handles the event. Okay, so I send it in one place and then I handle it in another place, right? Because honestly, events don't need to know what they are executing. They just need to fire up and say, well, something here has happened, you go and handle it to another class. So this is a publisher and subscriber. Is it the idea, pretty okay? What are we gonna do? Okay, so what I am gonna do, since this is a bit more complicated, I'll actually do two demos here, and I'll call them. So add new project. There's this number 5, so I'm gonna call it 5.1 events demo 1. And okay, so what we are gonna be doing is a very simple list. Okay, I'm not gonna make it generic or anything like that, just a very simple list, and I want to fire an event when I add an element. Okay, so I'll add an element, and after that I would like something to be executed. Okay, this is quite simple. I'll just create a new class, so class, and I would like to say list with changed events. Okay, and I'll deal with the main method a bit later. So what I am going to be using here is using system and using system dot collections dot generic. All right, let's have a look. Right, so the first thing that I want to do is I actually want to declare the event up here. So I have to say public delegate void, and then I want to call it something descriptive. So change event changed event handler. Okay, so you could imagine the way I was describing the event, that it's a type of a delegate, right? So it fires an event, and after that it can execute a couple of methods, right? So this is the idea. I have an event, something happens in my code, I fire this event, and after that a couple of methods are executed, as many as I need to. Okay, but this is a specific type of delegate, so if you don't remember this, I personally don't. You can just search it on Google. So here I have to say object sender, so who is the class that sends the event, and I can have some optional arguments, which I am just gonna call E. Okay, so this is my delegate or my event. Okay, I'll make this class public class, list with changed events, and I actually wanna declare my event handler. So this is just the signature, okay, but I actually wanna have it inside the class, so that I can use it later on. So public event with the keyword event, changed event handler, so this is of the same type as my delegate above that I've declared, and I am gonna call it changed, and that's it. So I'll just put some comments. So this is public event that clients can use to be notified of any change or event. Okay, and this is where I actually have my event in my class. I guess as soon as I make the demo, it will become a bit more clear. For now, just bear with me. So okay, so let's go into the list. So I want to say private list of int. This is what I want to use. Of course, the idea here is not to make the generic list as you had as a homework, just show how to fire events. So I'm not going to use an array, which I'm going to double and so on. I'll just use a list here straight away. And I'm going to call it my list. And it's going to be new list of int. Okay, can you tell me why is it private? No, nobody has to see how I implement my own collection, right? This is the idea. All right, so let's have let's have an indexer. So public int this int index. So this is something that we did last time. I just want to be able to say, well, give me the element, or change the element at this position. But I would only like to get it, so nothing that complicated. Okay, here I want to say get. And I want to say, what do I want to say here? Return my list of index, right? Because I already used the list up here. I'm not implementing it myself. And I just want to return the index, which is in the list already. Okay, and then what do I want to do? So I want to have public int count, which is going to be the same. So I want to have get return. Well, what do you think here when you see the one above? My list dot count. Okay, this is pretty much just copying some of the methods from the list, straight away. Okay, and I want to have public void add int value, which is going to be simply this dot mylist dot add value, and inside here I would like to fire my event. Okay, so how is this done? I would like to say this dot onChanged, which is a method that I'll be creating below, right down here, and it has to be private, right? No one needs to know about this. They can just subscribe and use it, but they don't need to see what's happened. So if this dot changed is different from null, then I want to fire the event. So this dot changed. Okay, so this this event, or this delegate, has right here has object sender. In this case, the sender is, can you guess that? Who is the sender of the event? This. Okay, so it's the specific instance of my list. So it's this, right? So this was corresponding to the specific instance of the class, and in fact this is the sender as well. So this, and I can just give some empty argument. So event args.empty. We're not gonna bother with those now. I'll have them in the same in the next example. Okay, so let's go through this again. Okay, here I am defining a delegate of specific type, which has void, then has sender and event args. Okay, after that I actually create this delegate and I call it an event, which I can fire, which is called changed. So imagine that this event changed. Just imagine for a second that is just a list of functions that I can execute. Okay, I go down here and I checked. So if I actually have any functions in it, only then I will execute them. Okay, if I don't have any, then I'm just not gonna execute them. Okay, and this is just a method, and I can put it here, add, in the add. So this is firing. Sorry. So firing the event. If the delegate event has any method in it, then execute. All of you look very confused.
So basically, after you add a value,
Okay, so this event, so this changed is just a delegate inside my class. So from the outside, I can add methods to this event, right? And as soon as I add an element, we're gonna see that in a demo, but I just want you to understand what's happening. So as soon as I add an element, it's gonna fire up this event. This is the idea. So declaring here, this is firing it, and this is how we actually fire it with a method. Okay, if it has nothing inside, right? If I have not attached any methods to my event, then it's not gonna run, right? I don't need it to run. Okay, I guess when you see the demo, it will become a bit more clear. So test. How do I call this? Events test. All right. So what we have to do here now is simply create a list of our own. So inside here, I would like to say list with changed events, my list equals. And sorry, this my list. I'll just change that. It's not the same as the one from the other class, but just to make sure. Okay, and here I want to say new list with changed events. I guess this way. All right, my list dot add. Sorry, test list dot add. I want to add a 1. All right, what do you think is gonna happen here? Nothing is gonna happen because I have not attached any methods to my event, right? So let's create a method. So let's call this public static void attached method, and it has to have the same signature. So object sender event args e. Right? Do you know why I do this? Why does it have to have the same signature? Because my delegate in here has this specific signature, and I don't have to call it sender in E, but I have to have an object, and then after that I have to have event arguments. Okay, and I just want to simply do console write line. I was called by a delegate on a changed event. Okay, so now this is the key to understanding. So now test list, if I see it up here, it has, oh come on, it has this lightning here, which is changed. Okay, and this means event. Okay, and to this event, which is also a specific type of delegate, I can attach methods to execute. Okay, so how do I attach? So how do I say this test list dot changed? How do I attach the method that I just written? It's the same thing that we did like 20 minutes ago. Plus equals. Okay, plus equals attached method, and there we go. Okay, so now is anything gonna change if I compile? Okay, I need to move the add, or just add it again. So test list dot add 2. Okay, and now it's gonna work. Okay, let's debug this. Actually, maybe it will be a bit more clear what's happening. Okay, so here I am creating the my specific list. I add an element. Nothing happens because no one has subscribed. So I don't have any method which is subscribed to the changed event. Okay, so nothing happens here. Then I actually add a method to my change class. Then I add a 2. Now if I press F11, it should go inside the add. Okay, add the value and then fire up this event. Okay, So if this dot changed is no, which it is no longer because I added a method to it, I am gonna skip that. I'm gonna go inside, and I'm just gonna say here, okay, I fire up this event, do whatever you know with it. So if I press F11 again, I am gonna go back and I'm gonna go through this method here, which is the one that I put in my event. Is that clear? Okay, I expect questions. Yes.
What happens if we add another number?
If I add another number, it's gonna execute again. Testlist.add 2. Okay, but of course inside here, if I need to, so in between here, I can also add, different methods. I can delete the ones that I have. I can do different things. Okay, so once I've executed it once, I can of course change, this event here. Right? I can add new methods. I can remove methods, and so on. How does that look? Any questions? Okay, who understood what's happening here? 3, 4, 5, sort of. Okay, those that are sort of, do you have any questions? Yeah? Okay, what about this event arc? So in fact, let me just remove this. We can see what those are. Okay, I can see what the sender is, and I can see what the events are. So let's do that. So I want to say object sender. So 0, and this is sender, and I can also say event args, and here I can say 1, and I want to call it E. Yeah, sorry, 0. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, object sender just gives me the address of the class that fires up the event, and after that it just says the empty event args which I've passed, if you remember. So I said event args.empty inside here. Inside here I said event args.empty, right? But I did give the sender, which is exactly what we see here, up here. This. Okay, event args, they can be different. I'll show that in the next example, but you can access those, and it's fine. All right, how are we doing? Okay, the next example, and I'll let you try and participate in it so that we can test this out. So I'll say events demo 2. Okay, so now what we want to do, I don't want to deal with a separate class. I just want to do something simple. I just want to say, well, if someone presses a key on the keyboard, just any key, then I want to fire up some functions. Okay, nothing that fancy, not creating a new list, just have a method which checks for an input, and if I have this input, I would like to fire up some events. So imagine start game, where I have to load some sprites, some audio, some animations maybe, or something like that. So something like a button, but it's very hard to imagine since this is in the console. It's very hard to imagine, but I guess that you have the necessary imagination. All right, so let me delete all of that. Okay, let's put it here. What I want to use is using system, and I want to use using system dot threading. You'll see in a second why. Okay, so up here I would like to do the same thing. I would like to declare my event. So let's do that. So I want to do public delegate. What was the type of the delegate that we defined just a couple of seconds ago? Void. And let's give it a name of key handler, and this is a name that you choose. Okay, it's not something specific. Okay, what was the signature inside the brackets? The parameters. Object sender. And inside here, I would like to do something a bit more interesting. So console key info, and this is going to be pressed key. So instead of just empty arguments, I wanna pass what key has been passed, has been pressed. So pressed key inside. Again, you can choose anything here. If I want to, I can return the count of the list, or the current daytime, anything that you want. So the only thing that is has to be here is the sender. Okay, after that I would like to create a class which is going to be called public class handle key. This is going to be the class which is going to fire up the event, and it's going to be pretty simple. I just have to declare the event that I want to use. I want to say public event. After that, what was the type of my event? So it is in words key handler. Okay, key handler. Okay, do you understand? So I made this delegate so that I can define my event, which is a delegate. It just executes methods one after the other. So yeah, and let's call this I don't know, pressed. Okay, and right, and then I want to have a simple method which is going to be public void onChanged. Here I want to press console key info key. Okay, so this is going to be what fires up my event. This is going to be the method that fires up my event. So what had to be here? There was an if pressed is different from null. Okay, only then I wanna fire it up. So I wanna say this dot pressed of sender and key. Sorry, here, no, sorry, this is this. Right, this is the class that we have, which is the sender. Is that clear? This is going to be the method that I'll use every time when I want to fire up the event, and I can fire it many times. So with the previous example with the list, I had a method which was add, and then I fired up my event. But I could have had any other method like clear, remove add, maybe reverse, or any other method which the list had. I could fire up the same event with this method. So this is the method that says I have fired up my event. Okay, and after that I want to just do a simple method which is public void input key. Okay, and this is very simple. So console key info pressed key equals console.read key. Okay, after that just one second, I lost it. So console.writeLine. Let me just see the text here because it's nice. So descriptive. So here I have I am code from the class. I have nothing to do with the event. Okay, so this is just my method. It hasn't fired anything, it's just a simple text that I want to do. Maybe I have some logic in there, maybe move right, move left, and so on, whatever you want to have. Okay, and after that I want to say something else also. So pressed key is, how do I give the pressed key? Pressed key dot key. This is gonna give me just repeat the key that I have. You have done this shouldn't be hard. Many times. Okay, just have a key, read it, then print something on the console. This is from the first course, nothing complicated. And now I just want to say console write line, just leave a new line, and then I want to fire up my event. So how do I fire up my event? This dot on changed, and I have to give the parameter, which is the key in this case, so I say pressed key. Okay, do I need to repeat this again? Who is confused? 3 people, the others are sleeping, or they got everything? Okay, there is a question first and then I'll repeat. Yeah, question or? We haven't. Okay, this is going to be in the main. Okay, I just created a class which has an event. Okay, so this is my event. It's of the type that we discussed before. Okay, I have a input key, which is what I wanted to do. Okay, so here I just read the key, have some text, and then I fire up an event which is on changed, or I can just call this on pressed. It doesn't have to be on changed. Let's call this on pressed. Sorry, why is it has to be private, and it has to be on pressed. 1 second. Sorry, what is this? Because I wouldn't be able to attach methods to it, right? I have to be able to attach them from the outside. So if I go back to the previous example, you see here that I say testlist.changed plus add, right? So it's not like a field, it's like a property of a class, because I can access it, it's public, everything is fine, and I can add methods to it from the outside world. So it's like a property, but not quite, because it's a delegate and it has functions in it, or more like an event. Okay, so here what we have, let me just say that again. So this is the input key method, which as soon as I input the key, I am gonna fire up an event. Okay, I fired up this way, we said. Okay, so if pressed is different from null, I have to say this dot pressed. No one corrected me there. So if I have some methods attached to my event, only then execute them, and that's it. Okay, I hope you got it, and now let's have some fun with that. All right, so let's have a variable of our type. So let's have a handle key, and I want to call it key handler. How good of a name! New handle key. All right, so I want to say key handler. Oops, key handler dot input key. Okay, what do you think is gonna happen now? Nothing, or I am just gonna get that. We wait for a key. Okay, as soon as I press one, the only thing that's gonna print is this, because I don't have anything in my event handler. So Control F5, and if I press a key, I am called from the class. I have nothing to do with the event, right? Because I don't have any events. I don't have anything. I just press G. Okay, right. Okay, so now if I want to do something, if I want to attach something, then I have to say key handler dot pressed plus equals, and then I want to add some methods. So I want to say load sprites, maybe, then I want to say key handler. Let me just copy this line above. Then I want to say load audio. Maybe I want to say also, what do I have here? Load level, maybe. So something that you want to do after you've pressed the key or after you've entered somewhere and so on. Yes. So I just press up, Control C, and then enter, and then Control V. That works. Yeah, I don't have to mark it. I actually learned that in one of the last lectures from one of you guys. So I don't have to select it. I can just, put my mouse there and Control C, Control V, and that's it. All right, so let's generate some methods. Okay, I want to say public static void load sprites, and I want to have object sender. So it has to have the same signature as the one that I described above. And console key info key console key info. There, work please, thank you. Okay, and here I just want to do something simple. Console dot write line. I want to say key dot key, just so that I show that I can pass parameters from the event. And after that I want to say console write line loading sprites. After that I want to say console this is thread.sleep. Imagine that we are loading the sprites, and I'm gonna say here 1500, so a second and a half. And after that I want to say sprites loaded. Okay, and I want to copy this method 2 times, and here I want to say, what did I have? So I had load audio, and here I had load level, and it's going to be pretty much the same with do I have any key differences here? Yes, I have this thing copied here, and I have this thing copied here. Alright, so what's gonna happen now? First of all, here nothing's gonna happen. I'm only gonna print this default text that I had in my method already. Okay, after that I add to my event or to my delegate in my class, I add a couple of methods, and I would expect they to be executed in order once I fire up the event again. So let's do that. So key handler key handler dot input key, which is the method which fires up the event. And now, so the first time when I press A, nothing's gonna happen. But if I now press something else, loading sprites loaded, loading sprites. Yeah, I didn't change the text, but so let me change it. So loading audio loaded. Then I have loading level loaded. Let's do that again. So the first time nothing happens. After that, first the sprites, then the audio, and then the level is loaded. You still look very confused. Okay, you're not the only one in the room though. Okay. Sorry? Yeah, because every time I just pass it in as a value, right? This is the key that I've pressed, and I'm gonna pass it as a value. This is what I wanted to do. I didn't want to have empty arguments. I wanted to show you how you can actually pass values from the event that has happened. So the event was, and it was in my original class, which is up here, input key, and I can actually transfer information from this event. I can transfer it back to where I want to handle the event. Okay, the good thing about this is that inside my class which fires up the event, I have no idea what kind of methods I have to execute, right? And this is like really key. This is really important. It's not its job. Its job is only to see, well, here I have to be fired, I am fired, and then after that you do whatever you want with me, which is handled in the other class. So we have what was it called? Was it publisher and subscriber? Yeah. Can I scroll up? Yeah, it's our event.
On press is like a field, a hidden field.
No. On pressed is a method, this one, which is called when we want to fire up the event. So I could have done this here. So right, this is firing the event. Okay, there are two ways to do it. The first way is this one that I have, or alternatively I can say it straight here. If this dot pressed is different from null, then here I can say this dot pressed this and key. Okay, I can do it here. The only reason that I'm doing it as a method is that maybe I want to call it in different methods at different times, and I don't want to repeat the code. Here I don't have key. What did I give? Was it pressed key? Pressed key. Pressed key. There, the one that I read here. Yeah, is it sort of clear now? So these three lines of code, they fire up the event, and this is normally what you would expect. This is the same as, this is same as, if you remember one of the previous examples, we had D1 of bunny 1 and 5. Okay, this is the same line of code. The only difference is that my parameters are different. I have to give the sender, and I have to give the pressed key in this case. Maybe I want to do something else in another case. Okay, so once I do this, it just executes this event or all of the methods which are attached to this event / delegate. Is it how is that? Is it better now? Okay, right. But I just wanna comment this. So Control KU, Control KU, Control KC. Okay, and I wanna uncomment that. Control KU. I want to put this comment here, and yeah. Any other questions on this? Okay, let's have a very short break, and then we'll finish the lecture. But still, we have important things to do. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So the last thing in the lecture, which is actually the coolest, if you've not slept through here, everything, it's time to wake up and see the wonders of C# that some other languages have, but not all. Okay, so we have first Lambda expressions, which is an anonymous function. So we did something similar with the delegates, but not quite. Okay, so it uses the lambda operator, which is like therefore, but it reads as goes to or goal to. The left hand side specifies the parameters, the right hand side specifies the expression or statement. Okay, so let's do a very quick demo of that. So I'm just gonna show it, and it may be a bit confusing, but once we start using it, then it will become relatively clear what's that about. So I'll call this 6, and I'll just combine Lambda and LINQ into one demo. Alright, I actually want to copy something from the actions, and let me copy this function here. Which one? We have so many. There were so many questions. So this was for my func, and I wanted to copy this. Alright, so I want to copy this method. And the way that I would normally use it is with a func or with an action when you look at this method. Anyone still alive? Action, thank you. So I want to say action, and then I want to say string a int b. Okay, and let's call it my action equals, and then I can say test method. Yeah, just the type, sorry, just the type. So int. Maybe I am sleeping as well. All right. Okay. So someone from C# said, well, what is gonna happen if if this is a method that I only use once, and I don't want to use anywhere else, and it doesn't have to have a name. I just want to use it straight there and then, and just once. Okay. Can I copy this and put it here? Okay. Right now, it's not gonna work clearly. But it's pretty clear what we need to happen. I just want to define the method which does all of that. Okay, so someone said, well, public, we don't need that because we're inside the static void. Okay, I don't need void because that's kind of clear since we have an action. Okay, I don't need to have this method here because it's just called once. I don't need to have a name, right? What we are left with is this string A in B, right? But I don't need this string because I already know what that is. It's just it's here, and I don't need that B as well. Sorry, that int here because it's defined here as well. And the only thing that I have to do now is this, and now this should compile. This is Lambda. Okay, it's the quickest way. Let me just control KD this. It still doesn't look good enough. I'll just put it there, there, and there. Delete that. Call this Lambda, and remove all of this. Put it here. All right. So this is Lambda. Okay, and in fact, I can even simplify it even more because since this is a single line of code, I can just copy that, put it here, and remove the brackets as well, and there we go. This is a function and it's called Lambda. So let me change this to something shorter, so Lambda. Okay, and then we have the parameters which I have just given. Okay, so you see how we simplified everything, and this is actually quite easy to read. Okay, so take A and B as parameters, which are the same as this string and this int here. So take this and they go to this statement. So here I have the parameters that I want to use, and after that I have the statement up here. So how do I call this now? Well, I just say my action of what do I have? String and int, A and then 2. Bam. There it is. Okay, easy, simple, really cool, and right. But it wouldn't be nice if we couldn't use some or do some cool things with it, and we actually can. But first of all, let me just point out that here I can have an action which just has a single parameter, right? Action 2, and this is gonna be with a single parameter, right? So I can just say A or X, and this goes to I don't know, X dot, I don't have many things here, so let's just print it, and I can say X plus, I don't know, 7. Okay, and let's call this again. So action 2 of I don't know, let's do 5. Okay, 12. I got 12 here. Okay, and this is really cool, and you will know in a second why. All right, so this was it about lambdas, and we'll see more of them in a second. Okay, so the next thing on the list is actually LINQ. Okay, LINQ is a set of extensions to .NET, and if I hope that you remember that we were using system.link for some things, or it was already included. Okay, and here we have some list of keywords that we can use. So from specifies data source, blah blah, where, filters, and so on. So unless you see these, they'll be very difficult to understand. So the main idea is that we have some collection. We have, say, a list of bunnies which we are gonna create, and I can do any kind of queries that I want to it. I can take the first bunny. I can take the first bunny which has first character A. I can sort them by name, then by gender. I can then reverse them, and so on. So every kind of selection or query to your collection or database, you can do this way. And so LINQ is the slightly older way to do things. LINQ is used in databases. So the same way that you make queries in C# with a LINQ, it will be the same thing that you use to make queries to databases, where you have, say a student system or a bunny factory, and you want to order students, get their names, sort them by mark, and so on. So all of this can be done with the LINQ, syntax, both in C# and your SQL database. So anyone here that has used SQL databases and stuff like that? Okay, so it's pretty much the same. And what I will do now as demos should be familiar. If it's not, it's very, very easy to read. First of all, I would like to create a bunny class. So new class, and I'm gonna call it bunny. Okay, add, and here I want to have a couple of properties. Let me just have a look at them. So I want to have, let's make this public, and let's delete all of that, and this thing put inside. Okay, this is going to be very, very simple and quick class. So I want to say prop, I want to say string, first name, get and set. Then I want to say prop, string, come on, last name, get and set. After that, I want to have, what else do I have? Age. So prop int age, just so that we have some things to play around with and test out. Okay, and then I want to have, maybe gender was the last one. Yeah, gender. So I would like to make an enumeration here. So public enum bunny gender. Not that it's different from any other, but I just want to do it M and F. And here I want to say prop bunny gender. I want to call it gender, and it has get and set. All right, let's create bunnies. So, sorry, someone was laughing. Let's create bunnies. Yeah, yes, we are. This is exactly what we are going to be doing. So let's call this bunny factory example. All right. So first of all, I would like to have var bunny factory. So we'll be using the var keyword a lot because sorry, property. Yeah, I'll change that. So var we're gonna use a lot because sometimes we have no idea what kind of collection it gives us back. So new factory, and this is gonna be new list of bunny, and I just want to create it. Do I not have collections? No, I don't, so let me add it here. And okay, and let's create some bunnies. Okay, so let's say new bunny, and then I want to say first name equals name, special. Okay, last name Peshif. Cool. Then I want to have age, which is 3, and then I want to have gender, which I really yeah, this is kind of gay. So bunny gender dot m. Okay, comma, and then I want to make, say, 5 or 6 of them, just so that we have something to work with. All right, more names. Gosho. Let's make something different because, sorry? Ivanov. Okay, with an E. He's 7 years old, he's male. Okay, so let's make some girl bunnies. Ivanka. Gesheva is fine. Age
18.
18. Okay, just old enough, right? Bunny gender dot f. All right, so Mariela. Kuchkova. Okay, so she's
15.
okay. She's 15, a little bit younger, and she's F. Okay, let's make a guy. Chefo. I don't know. All right. Let's make him a little bit older. So let's make him 21, and he's male. All right. Just so that we don't start with something complicated, I just want to make a normal list and go from there, and we'll move to the bunnies in a second. So here I want to have list. So var list equals new list, and we'll make a couple of examples with this one, and after that, yeah. So list of int, and let's just give some random numbers. So 1, 2, 5, 11, 3, 7, something like that. Okay, so how do you use LINQ first, which is a bit more outdated when we talk about C#, but let's go through that as well. So var, let's say less than 5 equals, I have to say the name of the collection. I'm sorry, no, I have to say from n in list, and then what do I want to do? Where n is less than 5, I want to say select n. Okay, and why are you not working? From n in list, where n less than 5, select n. I haven't. Sorry? I don't have commas here, no. Actually, what is the error that I get? Could not find implementation. Oh yeah, I don't have. Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, of course. System.link. Why would it work? Now? Yes. Okay. There we go. All right. So what am I saying? What am I saying here? So I wanna get all of the numbers in my list which are less than 5. So I say from n in my list. So this is like for each n in my list. This is similar as a statement. Where n is less than 5, so it's very easy. Whatever it says here, it's what actually happens. Select n. Select n means that I don't want to change. I don't want to change anything about my n, and I want it to keep it as is. So now I should be expecting 1, 2, and 3. So let's have a look. So I would like to make a method, but let's just print it for now. So for each var number in less than 5, I would like to print number. Okay, let's see. Okay, what is that? 12. Okay, so this is from here. Let me just comment that. Okay, so if I run that again, I have 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. If I add another one here, let's say 4, and I run it again, I am gonna have the 4 here as well. Okay. Sorry? What type is list less than 5? I think it's a list. Actually, no, it's enumerable. So the only thing that I can do here is for each it. If I try something with 4, it shouldn't work. So for I less than 5 dot length dot count I have count, but this is the extension method which comes from LINQ. So LINQ is a collection of extension methods. Okay, so this count is not the count for the list, but it's something that comes from an external library. Okay, so no, this is not a list here, and this is why we use var, because we really don't care at all. Okay, so I cannot give that count. And if you remember, count was property for the list, but here to use it I have to do something like this for it to work. Okay, and inside I don't even know if I have an indexer, and normally I shouldn't. So less than 5 of I should not be able to do this. Cannot apply indexing. There it is. Okay, because this returns me I enumerable, but we can fix this a bit later on. All right, so good. What else can we do with that? Is it clear what happens? Whatever it says there, that's what it's done. Okay, so var order by. I can also sort it. So I can say this is something else. So from n in list, I can say order by n. So this is just gonna sort by the default comparison, and then I can say select n in the end. So let me check, and if I want to for each again, var number, I actually want to make a method for this because we are going to be using that a lot. So give me a second. So I want to say public static void print, and here I want to say I enumerable collection. What is your problem? Okay, I enumerable, please work. Okay, and then I want to say for each var item in collection. Yeah, that's it. I want to say console dot write line, and then I want to say item. Okay, and now hopefully if I've done this correct, I can just say print, and I can say order by. Please work. Perfect. Okay, so now I've ordered them, as you can see, increasing. Okay, this select I want to point out is that is the final result that I give. So inside here I can say n plus like 1,000, and this is what's going to be stored as a data. So I'll have 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, 3, and so on. I can make anonymous types here. I can do whatever I want, but we'll look into that a little bit later. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, so let's start working with the bunnies. Is this clear what it does? Yeah. Select. I enumerable. This is what he asked a couple of seconds ago. So what is the return type here? It's I enumerable. And in this case, so I enumerable is an interface, and it pretty much says the only thing that you have for this collection is for each and nothing else. Okay, but you don't need to worry about that. We don't know anything about interfaces. Just put var here and know that you can print and you can use the stuff in the collection that you have. All right, so is it clear what these lines do? Let's start working with the bunnies because we have a lot of demos here. So var grown up bunnies, and inside here I want to say from bunny, or let's just put a b in bunny factory. Did I call it this way? Bunny factory. I want to say order by first name, so I have to say b dot first name. And after that I can say where b dot age is bigger than 18. Okay, because we want to have grown-up bunnies. And I want to say select b dot first name. Yeah, bigger than or equals to. There. Okay. And now here I can say grown-up bunnies. And I should expect to get, so what kind of bunnies should I, so this one, Ivanka and Chefo, I think, those two, right? Chefo and Ivanka. All right, so yeah, order by the first name, then take the age. So first I sort them, then I only take the age bigger than or equal to 18. And out of all of these, I only select the first name. But I can also do .age, right? It's not a problem. I should get 21 and 18, the corresponding ages of the two. Or I can make something else. I can make b dot first name plus space plus b dot last name as well, and that's fine. I'm gonna get both names as well. So a lot of things that you can play with here. All right, what else do we have? Okay, let's do gender bunnies. So please notice that every time I am giving you something new. So this was just where, this was order by, this was order by and where. So a combination of the two. Yes.
Shouldn't where be above order by? So we take only the ones that are the age is bigger than 18?
It's pretty much the same, right? I can sort and take the two elements, or I can take the two elements and then sort them, and it's gonna be the same result in any way. But I can do it, yeah.
Compilation time of the second shouldn't be.
I don't know. In this case, we don't worry about that. Yeah, normally we don't worry about compilation time and so on. We're just showing some, yeah. Normally you have to go through it twice anyways. So you have to check all of them and check the condition for the age, right? And then you have to sort it. But yeah, I guess yes, sorting takes time. So yeah, anyways, yeah, you are right. Okay, so var gender bunnies. And I want to say from bunny in bunny factory, I want to say order by bunny dot first name again, and after that I want to do something group bunny by bunny dot gender. Okay, so this is something a little bit different. So in here, what I am doing is let me just comment that for now. No, I just grouped them. Okay, so here I am taking the first I order it. Of course, I sort it by name, and after that I make two groups. So the first one will be for the males, and the second one is going to be for the females. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen if I now for each bunny in gender bunnies and say console right line bunny? I get the females first, or so here what I do is I get actually two groups. I don't get the bunnies, so what I actually have to do is var group in gender bunnies, and I'll do this group dot key, and after that for each of the two groups that I get, then I want to print the bunnies. So you actually get two collections, one inside the other. So for each, and I want to say var bunny in group, and then I want to say console right line bunny. And now I should be getting them. Yes, I don't want to say bunny. I want to say bunny dot first name plus space plus bunny dot gender, maybe. Okay, so we have the two groups. So this M, let me zoom in a bit. So inside here I said group dot key. Okay, this is the property that the group is specified by. So I have first the males, and I have Chefo, Gosho, Pesho, which are sorted because I did that as well by first name. And then I have the females, which are Ivanka and Mariela. Okay, is it clear what it does? So I just group them by gender, and I get however many groups there are in the gender. Maybe I can have something like MF, or something else, something different, and then I'll get three groups, and this will be separated into three. All right. What else do you want to do? So I want to also delete. Sorry, not delete, but just comment that. And let's keep going with the examples. All right. Another thing. So I would like to make pairs. So make pairs. Make all possible pairs of bunnies. Okay, we are going to do that. I am going to call it couples. So var couples equals from bunny1 in bunny factory, bunny, and then I want to do that same thing again. So from bunny2 in bunny factory, and then I want to do something with those. So where bunny1.gender is different from bunny2.gender and I wanna, what do I want to do? I want to select. Okay, so up to here, what I did was for every bunny in my bunny factory, I take another one, which is also any bunny of the collection, and then I want to do so that their gender is different. All right, so that I don't get mixed up gender. So what's gonna happen is that I am gonna take the first bunny. Okay, so the first bunny with the first bunny, they have the same gender and so on. I will try with the second one, Pesho and Gosho. The gender is the same, and after that I'll take Pesho and Ivanka. Okay, so they have different genders, and I will take that. After that I'll have Pesho and Mariela, which is fine. Pesho and Chefo don't work. Okay, after that I will go to the second one. Gosho doesn't work with the first one, doesn't work with itself. I will combine him with Ivanka and Mariela, and so on. So I'll make all of the possible pairs of two bunnies, as long as their gender is different. And then so this is something that I said about anonymous types. They are used here. So right now I can make a new anonymous type here, which is going to be first bunny is going to be equal to bunny1, and then I would like to make a second bunny, which is going to be equal to bunny2. Okay, so what this thing does, again, select every one of these pairs, and for each one make me a new anonymous type. So this anonymous type is going to have first bunny as bunny1 and second bunny as bunny2. Okay, so let's print this. So print, and I want to say here just couples. Couples, maybe. Yeah, actually I want to do something else here. So for each couple in couples, I want to say couple dot first bunny dot I don't know, name plus empty space plus couple dot second bunny dot first name. Okay, so we made the collection of a couple. We have the two bunnies here, and I want to take the first name of both of them. Okay, and this is exactly what I said. So we have Pesho and Ivanka, Pesho and Mariela, and so on. We have all of the possible pairs. Okay, if I just delete that here, where I am gonna get all possible pairs between, you know, the set of bunnies that I have. So here I will get a lot more Gosho with himself, with the next one, and so on. I am just gonna get all of the possible pairs. Do you understand what's happening here? Is it fine? All right. What else? What is the final one that we have? Actually, this was the final one for LINQ that we had. Okay, so although, you know, this is nice, this is easy to read, easy to implement, and so on, there is a nicer and cooler way by using lambdas, and you'll see now it's the coolest thing that I've seen in C#. So I hope that you enjoy that as well. So here we have lambda from now on. Okay, so how do we do something simple? So var filtered bunnies equals bunny factory dot, and now I can start saying what do I want to do with my collection, which is pretty similar to what we just did. Okay, so what I want to say is where each bunny goes to b dot last name dot starts with p. Okay, and after that I want to say maybe order by descending, maybe use the name, so I'll say it b goes to, actually name I am just gonna have one. I am just gonna have the first one, so let's call this one with p, and I want to sort them by age, but they're already sorted by age, but yeah, okay, so it's fine. B dot h is fine. Maybe I want to say select here, make an anonymous type, so b goes to new. I want to say first name equals b dot first name, comma last name equals b dot last name. Okay, so you can see that there are pretty similar things that you can do here with the bunny, and it looks kind of similar, but with the lambdas you have a lot more power to do whatever you want. So this where here is pretty much the same as this one. So I only take the bunnies b which satisfy this given condition. Okay, starts with p. Here I want to say whatever I want. I can say dot length equals 5. I can say two lower dot starts with or ends with, it doesn't matter. So two lower dot starts with, and let's leave it as p here. Okay, the only thing is that once I do this I still get IEnumerable, and maybe I want to do something for the list. So here in the end I can say toList, which is cool, and now I know that I'll have a list. I'll have all of the nice methods that I have from the list. I have indexers and everything that I want. So now I can what's gonna happen if I actually print this one? Sorry, there is an error. Where? Here. Oh yeah, I have to close it this way, and I have to close it this way, and then I want to say to list, and it's fine. Okay, so let's print it now. So I want to say for each bunny in filtered bunnies, what do I want to say? Console right line, I want to say bunny dot first name plus bunny dot last name. Okay, first name, I do press F, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and then I want to add maybe some space. So the thing is that the collection that I've just returned has only first name and last name. So if you've noticed, I don't have any of the others, right, which are age and gender, because I selected each of the bunnies and I just gave them these properties. So this is like a projection of a smaller piece of information. So let's say that we have a student system. So every student has, you know, email, phone, list of homeworks, marks, courses, and so on. And actually, I want to take just one mark and sort them by name, and just take the first name and the last name, and then I'll have them sorted. So I don't need the whole information. I just need a part of it. All right. So let's see what happens here. Is that right? Let me remove those up here. 1 second. What's happening? My Alt is not working. Okay, right. What do I need to change?
Starts with 2 over because you did 2 over.
Oh yeah, right. And there we go. All right, this is exactly what we want. So we want the last name to start with P, and we print them, and we can order them by age. So let's see, by age descending. So Ivanka was 18 and the other guy was 3. So we know it's descending. I can also just say order by, and it will just order them the normal way, which is ascending. All right. So let's see some of the keywords here that we can use, and I'll make an example for each one of them. But as you can see, they're, you know, very self-explanatory, very easy, very quick to do. So we have where searches by a given condition. So imagine in my bunny factory where bunny has some condition, we can take the first element or first or default, and we'll see what the difference is. So gets the first matched element. So I can just say give me the first one, and it's just gonna do that. But I can also say give me the first one with some condition. Okay. After that we have last or default, which you can guess what it does. Select, you already know what that is. Cast, I'm not gonna mention now. It's gonna become important when we talk about inheritance. We have order by, then by, and order by descending, and then by descending. So what I asked you to do in the first course, you know, take a group of students and sort them by name and then by gender. This happens in 2 lines, and it's very easy. I just say order by name and then by gender, and that's it, and it's done. You don't have to copy, you don't have to do anything. Okay, we have any, checks if any element matches a condition. We have O, checks if all elements match a condition, and we have toArray, toList, and as enumerable. So I want to turn this collection into an array, into a list, or as enumerable. What we are going to be using is toList. I have something down here, which is I have reverse, which is, you know, very useful as well. Okay, a couple of more. Average, count, max, and sum. Okay, so let's do some examples for each very quickly. There was a question there. What's the difference between any and O? First, my first answer will be you will see in a second. But any checks if there is one element that matches the condition, just one, like any of the elements. If any of the elements matches a given condition, it returns true. So this returns a boolean. Okay, and the next one checks for all of them. Did I not explain it right? Any just checks for one, O checks for all of them.
Then why we have first?
Because first gives me only one element, and it gives me the element which satisfies a given condition.
But first gives the element, but then it gives the
Yes. All right. So let's have an example with each, and that will be that for the lecture. All right. So where are we up to now? Okay. First of all, you can use. Let me just comment that as well. You can use it for all kinds of collections. It doesn't only have to be you know, this bunny thing that we have. We can also use it for strings. So this is the next example. Var text equals, and let's say hi, my name is Martin. What else do I have? Martin, I am 24. I actually am 24, so I'm not lying. All right. Okay, and then we have var result equals text dot, or sorry, dot split. Okay, so this splits the words by a space. We're not gonna worry about dots and commas and so on. Okay, and I want to say where w, and you can put anything here. You can put x, you can put b, you can put a full word if you want to, but I just want to say w from word. W goes to, or I can also say where w is, w dot to lower, and I want to say 1 second, starts with m. And that should work. Yeah, and now I can print the results. Print results, please work now. Are you enumerable? Okay, my and Martin. So you can use it on all kinds of collections, not just lists and lists of bunnies and so on. You can use it for very simple tasks as well. All right, so we saw where, which gives just a condition, which is a boolean. So I can say also or w dot to lower dot starts with, I have to put the brackets in, dot starts with, what else do we have? I. Okay, let's say I. And it's going to give me both. Okay, so you just need the boolean condition in there. All right, what else do we have? So let's do var small bunnies equals, and I want to say bunny factory dot, and I want to say, let me just put a marker here. Okay, small bunnies equals bunny factory dot where, and I just want to sort. I just want to get the ones which are smaller than, so b dot h less than, what would you call a small bunny? 10. Okay, 10. Do we have any that are less than 10? All right, so we should get that as well. And then if I want to print it, let me actually put that. Let me actually delete that, and now use this here. So print couples. I want to change that to small bunnies. Okay, we don't have anything here, and the reason is that I actually get a bunny. So select, sure. So just it's good to put them on a new line. So here I want to say select, and I want to say b goes to, okay, new. But then I won't be able to print it as well. So I just want to say b dot first name plus b dot h. Is that going to be allowed? Why not? I don't know. Maybe. Pesho 3 goes to 7, and it works, and it's fine. I didn't need to make an anonymous type there. All right, what else do we have? So please note that this is not a list now, it's still enumerable. If I wanted to make it a list and I want to add new elements and so on, I just have to say toList here. But it's still going to work fine. So, yeah. All right, what else do we have? Let's say first. So var first equals bunny factory dot first, and here I have to, if I want to leave it as is, it will be fine. So let me just print that here. So first dot first name, let's say. The guy will be Pesho. Okay, but I can also give a condition here. So let's say the first such that the gender is female. All right, let's do that. So we should expect Ivanka. So let's do, where is that? First, and here I can say where b dot h is, b dot gender equals bunny gender dot f, and I should expect Ivanka as a first name. All right. So what's the difference between first and first or default? And let's do something else here. So if I just change this into b.h and I say less than 5, I am gonna get I am just gonna get peso. So let me comment that. Okay, but what happens if I say less than 0 and I'm not gonna have any element of such h in my collection? I am gonna get an exception. Okay, and the idea here is that if I say first or default, I also got an exception, which is weird. Why? Oh, because I do this. Okay, so let me just put it back. So I want to say this. I have an exception, and if I say first or default, I should not be getting an exception. Okay, so this is the idea. If I have such an element, give it to me. If not, I'll just know that I have null. Okay, and this is the reason why I got an error here, because I have null in my first, and I actually try to access the first name property of that. All right, what else do we have? So first or default, I showed it. First condition, I showed that as well. So var anonym bunny list. So this is bunny factory dot, and here I want to say where. Actually, this dot is really annoying. So enter dot where. I want to say b goes to b dot gender equals gender dot gender bunny gender dot f or m. Okay, and then I want to say select, and here I can make a new bunny of the ones that I have. So I can use the anonymous type that we discussed earlier. So I can say b goes to new, and then I can say b dot first name first name equals b dot first name, and let's say gender equals b dot gender. Alright, and then after that I want to say toList, because why not? Okay, and now I can print that as well. So I want to say for each for each var bunny in anonym bunny list, and I want to say console write line bunny dot first name plus bunny dot gender, because this is the only thing that I have. Let's see what happens. Do I have a print anywhere else? I don't. And this is what we get. We only get the males, but we actually created a new anonymous type here, which I don't need to use anywhere else, right? So we said anonymous types are used only when you need to use them once, are not used anywhere else, and I actually don't need to change the values. I only read them here, and I only print them. So yeah, okay, what else? So let me comment on that as well. All right, what else do we have? Okay, so there is a cast method which I mentioned here. I don't know if you've seen it. Let me so this cast is used to make a projection or convert from one type to another. So if so this is like type casting. So if I want to cast from int to double or vice versa and so on, this is what cast is. It's normally used if you want to check whether your bunny is something higher up the hierarchy of classes, like if you want to check if your bunny is an animal. But since we don't know how to do that yet, I'll just skip an example with it. All right, what else do we have? So var order bunnies. And let's see how to do that. This is bunny factory dot order by, and here I want to say how to order them. So b, I want to order them by name, b.name for first name. If I want to say again order by, it's not gonna work. I have to say then by. Okay, so it sorts them once, and after that, those who weren't sorted the first time, it's gonna sort it between themselves. So here, instead of doing that, I want to say gender, because there are many bunnies with the same gender, and I want to say then sort by age, b.age, which is going to be fine, and then I want to say toList. All right, and then I want to print the bunnies again. So for each var bunny. Actually, can I print them? I have a print, but it only takes collection, and
Change it or
I can do select here. Yes, but I am only gonna print the element bunny, and it's gonna tell me bunny.toString, and there I won't be seeing the gender or anything else. So here I'll just say select, and then I want to say b goes to new, or do you want to say new? No, I just want to say b.gender plus empty space plus b.age, and that should work now. If I want to print it, print order bunnies, that should work, I hope. All right, there we go. So first we sort them by gender, then we sort them by age.
If we want to sort the age descending,
Then by descending, and it's the other way. So how cool is that? Just, a couple of lines, easy to read, and you can do whatever you want with every collection. Who thinks it's cool? Who is asleep? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 is fine. 3 is fine. It's all right, we only have like 3 or 4 more, so don't worry. Okay, it's not. Are you still not sleeping? No, I guess not. Okay, what else do we want to do? Are there grown-up bunnies? I think 21 for a bunny is old age, so I would say more yes. Okay, so this is gonna be bunny factory factory dot any, and I want to say b dot age bigger than, what would we say? Let's say 15 for a big bunny. So we said that this returns a, what happened? So 5. I want to close this and I want to put that. Okay, so we said that any checks if if one of the bunnies has this condition inside here. I wanted to put 15, and this returns a boolean. Okay, so I want to print it straight away. So are there grown-up bunnies? Okay, what do you think it's gonna say? True. All right. How about if I put it 21? False, because I don't have anyone which is 22 or bigger. If we have a look at the ages here. All right. What else? So this was, sorry. Actually, there are a bit more, but these are quick. Come on, it's only like 10 minutes more. Var are all bunnies grown up? Bunny factory dot, and here I want to say dot all b dot age bigger than 18. And here, although I have one bunny which has age which is bigger than 18, I should be getting false because not all of them have the given condition. So yeah, if I change this to are all bunnies grown up, the answer should be false. If I say bigger than or equal to 3, well, all of them are. I think we don't have anyone with 3. Peshu is 3, sorry. Okay, so bigger than 2, then all of them will have this condition. If I put it as 3, Peshu is not going to satisfy this, so I will get false. Alright, just a couple more. Okay, var reversed bunnies equals bunny factory dot on the other line. Okay, so dot I want to say here where b goes to b bigger b dot h bigger than 5, and after that I want to say reverse dot to list. Okay, so I am gonna take here everyone which has h bigger than 5, so I will get these 4, and then I'll reverse their order, so I should be getting Chefo, Mariella, and so on. So to check that, I would like to have select. Actually, I don't need this. I want to say select b goes to b plus b dot first name plus b dot h, and now I can use my built-in print method. So I can do print of reversed bunnies. Alright, we only got the ones that we wanted and we reversed the array. Yeah. Okay. What else do we have? So to be precise, I have 4 more.
You said the same thing.
Yeah, I said the same thing, right? So var average bunny age equals bunny factory dot average b, and I want to take the average of the bunny's age. Okay, and I just want to say this average bunny age 12.8 apparently. Okay, I'm not going to do a separate demo for each of the rest, which are we can do average, we can do count, we can do max, we can do sum. I hope that you can guess what they do. So I guess it's fine. And let me see if there is something a bit more interesting. I can also make the okay. So yeah, this is the more interesting example. So okay, how do I make couples? Okay, since you are asleep and you don't want to do it anymore, I am just gonna ask you to do it. So var couples. How do I do the same thing that I did with the couples above? How do I do that here as well? Bunny factory dot from. I don't have from. Where? B1. How do I get the B2?
Goes to B1. And now we will have the lambda. So we will have brackets B1 and B2. And we will have function.
How do I take 2 bunnies from a collection where I only have bunnies? So this is, a weird signature. It's more like select. Okay, so let's do select and let's see what happens. So select, and then I want to say b1 goes to bunny factory dot select. Okay, so I want to do it nested so that I can take the 2 bunnies. So select, and in here I want to say b2 goes to b1 dot first name plus b2 dot first name. Okay, but this is still not gonna work as of yet, because Why?
They will be all possible.
I have made a collection inside the collection. So this is not going to work, and I have to do for each twice and so on. Instead of doing that, there is an operator here which is select many. Okay, so it kind of flattens the levels of the groups. Select many, which is very, very useful. Okay, so then I can do for each. I can say var select. Couple in couples 2. Couples 2, and then I want to say console right line couple. Right, that should work. And we have all of them. Okay, if I want to check a specific condition, I have to say where b1.gender is different from b2.gender and so on. But this is how you do it nested. So with the from, this one was a bit easier. I just do from, and I already have all of the pairs that I want. Here I have to do it nested. So for every bunny here, I want to take again every bunny and then do something for it. And yeah, the last one is groups. So, and this is really the last one. So var groups equals bunny factory, and dot group by. I can say b goes to b.h, and actually dot gender. I want to group them by gender, and then I want to say toList. Okay, and then I have to do the absolutely same thing here with for each twice. So I have to say for each group in gender groups, I would like to console right line group dot key. I don't have, sorry? I don't have gender groups. Oh yeah, I wanted to say groups. Yeah, I wanted to say groups here. Groups. And after that I want to say for each bunny in group console right line bunny dot first name plus empty space plus bunny dot gender. Okay, there is. So we have the group key, and we have all of the bunnies grouped by name and by gender as well. All right, so let's finish this up quickly. One more maybe. Do you want me? Do you have any questions? Do you want me to do anything specific? No, it's fine. I would have guessed so. Homework, I still don't have it. I haven't come up with it, but you will have one. So if you're happy, you won't be sorry to take my time. It's not urgent. Okay, references and questions.